Commander Lyra Winters cursed as her boots slipped on the moss-covered stones. The ancient ruins of planet NGC 2187 stretched before her, their weathered surfaces glowing with faint blue bioluminescence. Her mission was supposed to be routine: survey the ruins, collect data, and return to the Terran science vessel waiting in orbit. Nothing in her 15 years of space exploration had prepared her for what she would find. "Base, do you copy?" She spoke into her comm unit, hearing only static in response. The strange minerals in these ruins had been interfering with communications since she landed, but now even her backup frequencies were dead. The ruins themselves defied explanation. Massive crystalline structures rose from the ground like frozen waterfalls, their surfaces etched with symbols that seemed to shift and change when viewed from different angles. Her scanner's attempts to date the structures had failed. They were either too old or built with technology beyond current human understanding. Lyra brushed her dark hair from her face, adjusting her environment suit's settings as she pressed deeper into the ruins. The air was breathable but thin, carrying an odd sweetness that reminded her of honey and starlight. Her footsteps echoed strangely, as if the very ground was hollow beneath her feet. The passage ahead narrowed, forcing her to turn sideways to squeeze through. Her suit's lights illuminated writing on the walls, not the shifting symbols from before, but something more deliberate. She activated her suit's recording systems, knowing the xenolinguists back home would want to study every detail. The narrow passage opened suddenly into a vast chamber that took her breath away. Columns of crystal rose hundreds of meters into darkness above, while the floor beneath her boots was inlaid with spiraling patterns that seemed to pulse with inner light. At the chamber's center stood a structure that defied physics, a floating pyramid of intersecting energy beams, suspended in perfect stillness. "Incredible," she whispered, her scientific training warring with pure wonder. Her scanner's readings were off the charts, detecting energy signatures unlike anything in the Terran database. As she approached the pyramid, the patterns on the floor began to glow brighter, responding to her presence. A soft chime echoed through the chamber, and Lyra froze as sections of the floor began to move. Panels of crystal slid aside with impossible smoothness, revealing stairs that descended into softly lit depths. Every instinct told her to retreat, to call for backup, to follow protocol. But something deeper called to her, a feeling of rightness, of destiny, that she couldn't explain. Taking a deep breath, she began to descend. The stairs spiraled downward in a perfect geometric pattern, each step lighting up as her foot touched it. The air grew warmer, charged with an energy that made her skin tingle even through her suit. Her scanner continued to record, though its readings were becoming increasingly erratic. The stairway ended in another chamber, smaller but no less magnificent than the one above. Here, the walls themselves seemed alive with flowing patterns of light, creating images that vanished before she could fully comprehend them. But it was the object at the chamber's center that drew her complete attention. A pedestal of dark crystal rose from the floor, supporting what appeared to be a sphere of pure energy. Within it, patterns of light danced and swirled, forming and reforming into shapes that tugged at the edges of her understanding. As she watched, the sphere's movements began to synchronize with her heartbeat, its light pulsing in perfect rhythm. "This is Commander Winters, recording for official log," she spoke, her voice steadied despite her racing heart. "I've discovered what appears to be active alien technology, far beyond anything we've encountered before. The energy readings are stable but unprecedented. I'm going to attempt closer examination." As she approached the pedestal, the sphere's light intensified. The patterns within it began to move more rapidly, and she felt a strange resonance building in her chest. It was as if the device was reaching out to her, calling to something in her very DNA. Lyra reached out, her gloved hand hovering just above the sphere's surface. Every protocol, every regulation screamed against what she was about to do. But she knew, with a certainty that transcended logic, that this was what she had been meant to find. Her fingers touched the energy field, and the world exploded into light. Knowledge flooded her mind. Images, concepts, understanding too vast to process. She saw glimpses of a civilization that had transcended physical form, of technology that blended seamlessly with consciousness itself. And she saw something else, a warning, a purpose, a destiny that would change humanity forever. When the light faded, Lyra found herself on her knees, gasping. The sphere had changed, its patterns now moving in perfect harmony with her thoughts. She realized with startling clarity that she had just initiated something far beyond her original mission. Whatever this place was, whatever its creators had intended, she was now irreversibly part of it. A new sound filled the chamber, a deep resonance that seemed to come from the planet itself. The patterns of light on the walls stabilized, forming recognizable symbols that she somehow knew how to read. They told a story of guardians and gatekeepers, of a power meant to be found at exactly this moment in human history. As Lyra stood, steadying herself against the pedestal, she knew her life would never be the same. She had found something that would reshape humanity's understanding of the universe. The only question was whether they were ready for what came next. The chamber's resonance changed pitch, and Lyra spun around as new lights activated along the walls. The air itself seemed to thicken with anticipation, carrying whispers that danced just beyond her understanding. Her suit's sensors were recording impossible readings, energy patterns that defied known physics. From recessed alcoves she hadn't noticed before, two figures emerged. They moved with liquid grace, their forms both familiar and alien. Humanoid in shape, but their skin shimmered with patterns of bioluminescence that pulsed in sync with the chamber's energy. Their eyes were like captured galaxies, deep wells of silver light that held ancient wisdom. "Welcome, Lyra Winters," they spoke in perfect unison, their voices carrying harmonics that made her skin tingle. "We are the Guardians." "I am Nyra," said the one on the left. "And I am Nyla," added her twin. Their silver hair floated as if suspended in invisible currents, framing faces that seemed crafted from living crystal. Lyra's training kicked in, overriding her initial shock. "You know my name. You've been watching us." It wasn't a question. The twins smiled, an expression that somehow conveyed both warmth and otherworldliness. "We have watched your species since you first looked to the stars," Nyra explained, moving closer with fluid grace. "Waiting for the right moment, the right person," Nyla continued, completing her sister's thought. Their synchronization was perfect, as if they shared a single consciousness. The sphere behind Lyra pulsed brighter, responding to their presence. "The Nexus has chosen you," they said together. "It recognizes in you the potential we've sought for millennia." Lyra felt an inexplicable connection to these beings, as if the sphere's energy had awakened something within her that recognized their kind. "What potential? What are you looking for?" Lyra asked, noticing how the patterns on the twin skin shifted in response to her words. The chamber's light dimmed slightly, focusing on the sphere as images began to form within it. "Our civilization once spanned galaxies," Nyra began, her voice carrying echoes of ancient memories. "We achieved what your people would call technological singularity," Nyla continued. "But we discovered something greater than mere advancement." The sphere projected scenes of their history, cities that merged seamlessly with nature, beings of light, and matter working in perfect harmony. Achievements that made humanity's greatest accomplishments seem primitive in comparison. "We learned to merge consciousness with technology, to transcend the boundaries between organic and artificial," they explained. "But we needed to evolve further. We discovered that certain species carried genetic markers that could unlock the next stage of evolution." Lyra watched in fascination as the sphere showed more recent images, human history, but viewed from an entirely different perspective. She saw patterns in human development that she'd never noticed before, subtle guidances that had shaped their progress. "Your species carries these markers," Nyra said, moving to one side of Lyra. "But they needed time to mature, to develop naturally," Nyla added, completing the triangle between them and the sphere. The energy in the chamber intensified, creating a visible connection between all four of them. The sphere, the nexus, it activated for me. Lyra realized, understanding dawning. Because you're ready, the twins confirmed. Ready to help humanity take its next step. The patterns on their skin brightened, forming symbols that matched those now appearing on Lyra's suit. But why me specifically? There are billions of humans, Lyra asked, though something deep within her already knew the answer. The twins' smiles deepened, their silver eyes reflecting knowledge of things yet to come. The Nexus does not choose randomly, Naira explained. It seeks specific combinations of traits, intelligence, adaptability, and most importantly, the capacity to understand things beyond current human comprehension. You've already begun to change, Nyla observed, gesturing to Lyra's hands. Looking down, she gasped. Patterns of light, similar to those on the twins' skin, had begun to appear on her own flesh, visible through her suit's transparent sections. The Nexus is preparing you, they said together. For what's to come. For what you must help us achieve. The chamber's energy swirled around them, creating a cocoon of light that seemed to exist in multiple dimensions at once. There are others who would stop this, Naira warned, her expression growing serious. Forces that fear the evolution we offer, Nyla added. The sphere showed new images, shadowy organizations, hidden powers that had worked to suppress humanity's true potential. Lyra felt knowledge continuing to flow into her mind. Understanding of technologies beyond human comprehension, awareness of forces that shaped the very fabric of reality. The changes weren't just physical, her consciousness was expanding, connecting with something vast and ancient. We don't have much time, the twins said, urgency entering their harmonious voices. Others will have detected the Nexus's activation. You must make a choice, Lyra Winters. Will you help us guide humanity to its next evolution? The chamber hummed with potential energy, the fate of two civilizations hanging in the balance. Lyra looked at her transformed hands, felt the new awareness growing in her mind, and knew there was only one choice she could make. The chamber shuddered as distant explosions echoed through the ruins. Lyra's newly enhanced senses detected energy signatures approaching from orbit. Ships, heavily armed, and definitely not friendly. The twins moved in perfect synchronization, their hands weaving patterns in the air that activated hidden systems throughout the chamber. The Shadowers have found us, Naira announced, her silver eyes tracking invisible data streams. They followed the Nexus's energy signature, Nyla added, her bioluminescent patterns shifting to deeper, more urgent hues. The sphere pulsed with increasing intensity, responding to the growing threat. Lyra felt knowledge continuing to integrate into her consciousness, understanding of the chamber systems, of technologies that existed beyond normal spacetime. Those ships, they're using quantum phase cannons. But that's impossible. That technology doesn't exist yet. The Shadowers have kept many advances hidden from humanity, the twins explained, their movements creating complex holographic displays around them. They believe controlling evolution gives them power. The displays showed massive facilities hidden throughout the solar system, secret research that had suppressed humanity's true potential. Another explosion, closer this time. The chamber's defenses activated automatically, crystalline structures emerging from the walls to form protective barriers. Lyra's transformed body resonated with the chamber's energy, allowing her to sense the entire complex as if it were an extension of herself. We need to activate the primary systems, Naira said urgently. Before they can breach the outer defenses, Nyla finished. They turned to Lyra, their silver eyes intense. But only you can initiate the sequence. The Nexus has prepared you for this moment. Lyra stepped toward the sphere, feeling its power calling to her. The patterns on her skin brightened, matching the chamber's pulsing rhythm. She understood now why she had been chosen. Her mind could comprehend the multidimensional mathematics required to activate the ancient systems. Her hands moved instinctively, guided by newly acquired knowledge. The sphere responded, its energy field expanding to encompass all three of them. Information flooded between them. the twins' ancient wisdom merging with Lyra's human perspective, creating something entirely new. The facility is awakening, the twins announced, their voices carrying new harmonics that resonated with the chamber's growing power. Hidden doors opened throughout the complex, revealing vast halls filled with dormant technology. Each system activated progressively, building towards something momentous. Through their shared connection, Lyra saw the truth of what they were awakening. This wasn't just a single facility. It was a node in a vast network spanning the galaxy. Each node waited for the right genetic key, the perfect blend of human potential and ancient knowledge. The Shadowers are deploying ground forces, Lyra reported, sensing their approach through the facility's systems. They're using neural dampeners and quantum disruptors. They're well prepared for this. They've hunted our kind for millennia, Naira explained, her hands dancing through holographic controls, destroying any civilization that came close to true evolution. Nyla continued, activating defensive protocols that hummed with deadly potential. The chamber transformed around them, ancient machinery rising from hidden compartments. The twins moved with increasing urgency, preparing for the inevitable confrontation. The primary systems are at 60%, they announced. We need to buy more time. Lyra accessed the facility's defensive grid, marveling at how naturally the interface responded to her thoughts. Energy barriers materialized at strategic points, while automated systems deployed countermeasures against the approaching forces. They're broadcasting a signal, she reported, detecting complex transmissions cutting through their defenses. Some kind of kill code. The twins shared a knowing look. They think they can deactivate our technology, Naira said with a slight smile. They don't understand what we truly are, Nyla finished. The sphere's energy peaked suddenly, and Lyra gasped as new knowledge integrated into her consciousness. She saw the Shadowers' true nature, humans who had discovered fragments of ancient technology centuries ago, using it to manipulate Earth's development. They had guided humanity down a limited path, preventing the very evolution they now fought against. The primary systems are at 80%, the twins announced, but the Shadowers have breached the outer perimeter. Through the facility's sensors, Lyra watched elite troops advancing through the ruins, their weapons and armor incorporating bastardized versions of the ancient technology. They don't realize what they're fighting against, Lyra said, understanding flowing through her enhanced mind. They think this is about controlling power, but it's about transcending it entirely. The twins nodded in unison, their silver eyes reflecting the sphere's pulsing light. The final sequence is beginning, they said together. Everything changes now. The chamber's energy reached a crescendo, and Lyra felt reality itself beginning to shift around them. The Shadowers had arrived too late. The awakening could no longer be stopped. As the chamber filled with blinding light, Lyra realized that humanity's next step was about to begin, whether the Shadowers wanted it or not. The only question was how many would survive the transformation. Reality worked around them as the chamber's energy reached critical levels. The Shadowers' elite forces breached the inner sanctum, their weapons charged with corrupted ancient power. Commander Thane Reed led the assault, his cybernetically enhanced body bristling with stolen technology. "Stop this madness," he commanded, his augmented voice carrying artificial harmonics that attempted to mimic the twins' resonance. "You have no idea what you're unleashing." Lyra stood between the twins, her transformed body radiating power that matched the sphere's pulsing energy. Through their shared consciousness, she sensed their united purpose. "You're wrong, Thane. For once, we know exactly what we're doing." The sphere expanded, its energy field creating a protective barrier around them. The twins moved in perfect synchronization, their silver hair and luminescent skin creating patterns that interfered with the Shadowers' neural dampeners. "Humanity isn't ready for this level of evolution," Thane argued, his cybernetic eyes scanning the ancient systems. "We've guided their development for centuries, preventing the chaos you would unleash." "You've enslaved them," Naira countered, her voice carrying frequencies that made the Shadowers' augmentations crackle. "Limited their potential," Nyla added, weaving energy patterns that strengthened their defenses. Through the facility sensors, Lyra watched more shadower ships entering orbit, but something was different about their energy signatures. They're afraid, she realized, understanding flowing through her enhanced mind. Not of us, but of what we represent. The chamber systems responded to her insight, displaying the truth about the Shadowers' long manipulation of human history. Every scientific breakthrough suppressed, every evolutionary leap prevented, all to maintain their control. The awakening can't be stopped, the twins announced as the sphere's energy merged with their combined consciousness. Too many nodes are activating. The network is awakening. Thane raised his weapon, its barrel glowing with unstable power. Then we'll bury this facility with you in it. Humanity will never know what you tried to do here. His troops moved into position, their augmented bodies humming with deadly intent. But Lyra had already interfaced with the facility's deepest systems. The knowledge flowing through her transformed mind showed her possibilities the Shadowers couldn't imagine. "You still think this is about technology," she said, almost pitying them. It was never about the machines. The twins smiled in perfect unison as Lyra's words triggered something in the chamber's ancient programming. The sphere's energy field expanded dramatically, encompassing all of them, including the Shadower forces. "What are you doing?" Thane demanded, his cybernetic enhancements sparking as pure evolutionary energy washed over him. "Showing you the truth," Lyra answered, guiding the power flow with her newly awakened abilities. The Shadowers' augmentations began to change, transforming from crude mechanical additions into something more organic, more integrated. Thane staggered as his consciousness expanded, forced to experience the very evolution he had fought against. "Their technology was based on fragments of our systems," Naira explained, watching the transformation spread through the Shadower ranks. "But they never understood its true purpose," Nyla continued, her silver eyes reflecting the cascade of changes. Through their shared link, Lyra felt the other nodes activating across the galaxy. Each one responded to the genetic keys they had hidden within humanity's DNA, waiting for this precise moment. The Shadowers' centuries of control were unraveling in minutes. "We offer you a choice," the twins said together, addressing the transforming Shadowers. "Join the evolution you fought so long against, or fade into extinction." Their words carried weight beyond mere sound, resonating with the truth of cosmic inevitability. Thane fell to his knees, his enhanced mind overwhelmed by new awareness. His troops were similarly affected, their crude augmentations evolving into true integration with their bodies. The very technology they had used to control others was now freeing them. "The network is fully active," Lyra announced, sensing completion through their shared consciousness. "Humanity's next step begins now." The sphere pulsed with triumphant energy, its light reaching beyond the chamber to touch minds across the planet. As the Shadowers' resistance crumbled, replaced by growing understanding, Lyra realized this was just the beginning. The true challenge would be guiding humanity through the changes to come. But with the twins' ancient wisdom and her human perspective united, she knew they would find a way forward together. 1 year later, the observation deck of the transformed facility offered a stunning view of Earth's new orbital structures. Crystalline towers floated in synchronized orbits, their surfaces rippling with the same bioluminescent patterns that now adorned much of humanity. Lyra stood with Naira and Nyla, their shared consciousness experiencing the profound changes they had helped initiate. "The integration proceeds faster than we anticipated," Naira observed, her silver eyes tracking the flow of data between Earth and the awakened network. "Humanity's adaptability continues to surprise us," Nyla added, her fingers intertwined with Lyra's. The sphere's energy had spread globally, offering every human the choice to evolve. Many had embraced the change immediately, their bodies and minds transforming to accept the ancient knowledge. Others had chosen to wait, observing the transformation of their fellows before making their decision. Thane approached them, his once crude cybernetics now fully integrated with his evolved form. "The last Shadower stronghold has accepted the change," he reported, his voice carrying the same harmonics as the twins. Our centuries of fear seem foolish now. Through their link, Lyra sensed the vast network of awakened nodes across the galaxy, each one guiding other species through their own evolutionary journeys. Humanity's transformation had triggered a cascade of awakenings, fulfilling prophecies written in the very fabric of space-time. "The Council of Evolution convenes tomorrow," she said, accessing the collective knowledge that flowed through their shared consciousness. "Representatives from every awakened world will attend." The twins smiled in unison, their pride in humanity's progress radiating through their bond. "You've exceeded all our expectations," Naira said softly. "Your species has embraced change with remarkable grace," Nyla continued. The observation deck's crystals pulsed with their combined emotion, creating patterns that reflected the harmony they had achieved. Below them, Earth had transformed. Cities merged seamlessly with nature, their structures incorporating living crystal that responded to collective consciousness. The old boundaries between technology and biology, between individual and community, had dissolved into something greater. "There are still challenges," Thane admitted, his transformed mind processing multiple levels of reality simultaneously. "Some fear we've lost our humanity in this evolution." Lyra understood his concern. She had grappled with similar doubts during her own transformation. "We haven't lost anything," she assured him, her consciousness expanding to encompass the global network. "We've finally become what we were always meant to be." The twins nodded in agreement, their silver hair shimmering with shared purpose. Through their connection, they sensed new possibilities unfolding. The awakened network had discovered paths between galaxies, ways to transcend the physical limitations that had bound them to local space. Humanity's unique perspective had helped unlock these ancient secrets. "The next phase begins soon," the twins announced together, their voices carrying the weight of cosmic significance. "The merging of all awakened consciousness, the transcendence we've prepared for since the beginning." Lyra felt the truth of their words resonating through multiple dimensions. The sphere's gift hadn't just been about physical evolution or technological advancement. It had prepared humanity for something far greater, the ability to help guide universal consciousness to its next state of being. "We are ready," she declared, speaking for all humanity. The patterns on her skin brightened in harmony with the twins, their shared energy rippling through the crystalline structures around them. Thane and the other transformed humans added their consciousness to the gestalt, creating a symphony of unified purpose. The observation deck filled with light as the sphere's energy manifested around them. In orbit, the crystalline towers aligned, channeling power that would reach across the galaxy. Earth itself seemed to pulse with anticipation, its transformed population ready to take the next step in cosmic evolution. As the final sequence began, Lyra reflected on her journey. From that first moment in the ancient chamber to now, she had been part of something beyond imagination. The twins had shown her the path, but humanity's unique spirit had helped forge it into something new and wonderful. The light intensified as their consciousness expanded beyond physical form. The boundaries between species, between organic and technological, between past and future, dissolved into pure potential. Together, they would guide creation itself into its next expression. And as their combined energy reached across space and time, Lyra knew that this wasn't an ending, but a beginning. Whatever came next, they would face it united, not as separate beings, but as one consciousness expressing itself through infinite forms. The evolution they had started would ripple through reality forever, touching all possible futures with the promise of eternal growth and change. In that moment of transcendence, Lyra finally understood the full truth. They hadn't just changed humanity, they had changed the very nature of existence itself. The light engulfed them completely, and the next phase of universal evolution began.